What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD, being joined by Gary, the obsessive compulsive gamer, and of course, shirtless Carl, the street preacher. What's up, gentlemen?
Not
Not
much,
much.
not much.
I'm not a preacher. Let's just let's just be clear about that now.
Uh, we've had a rough start last week. We did a little test run. I think it went kind of well. What do you guys think?
I thought it was pretty sweet.
I showed up on time today, so that's positive.
Yeah, and you're married.
Basically, what we're doing here on the show, if you didn't catch it last week, if you're going to catch it later, we're going to look at some trailers, look at the game trailers for things that have just came out, things that are going to release in the future, and every once in a while, some games that may have released a long time ago, but you didn't realize it, you missed it somehow. Of course, I got Gary and Carl here to help me gather up the greatest trailers that we can find every week, and we're going to take a look at them and talk some shit and have a good time, right, Carl?
Yeah, we might even look at some shitty games.
Nah, I don't know if we're going to be looking at some shitty games. I think we're going to look at some games that at least interest us a little bit, hopefully.
Boy, we need to make that. We need to make that a separate podcast. Looking at shitty games.
I think everything we looked at last week was pretty solid, and then
Yeah, no.
obviously I got to give some credit to Carl. He gifted me the Big Con a couple days ago, and that the intro to that was really good. I wish I could talk a little bit more about it, but the kids lost the controller. They still
I
haven't
tried
found
playing it, but I got stuck at the rental store. And I just couldn't figure out what to do. I kept talking to people.
Well, I think what you had to do was the mom wanted you to figure out what videos to recommend to people. So what you had to do was sneak up on them. And what's weird about this game is that they make you push like almost all the buttons for no reason. So to like accept or like the OK or select button is all four of the face buttons for some reason. So when you're talking, you hit like the A button, and then when you're might be talking to somebody else, you want to hit the X button, and then to go sneak up on the people, you have to find the right spot, and it says to hit the Y button. So it was kind of weird in that regard, but basically
it was.
Go ahead.
I tell you what I did was I had the accessibility settings set, so like all I had to do is press X. And to initiate the dialogue menu, and they present you with two choices. And I can't ever figure out whether it's my choice is a success. So I'm really just playing this game by guess. So I kind of lost interest in just for that reason, because I thought the game really needed more bolder font types, and B, a quest tracker or something like that. But I think the premise is interesting. If you are into adventure games and you're not and you're into exploring new stuff, it's definitely something to look out for.
Sounds good.
Could not find this game on the Switch.
Hopefully, every week we will recommend games and we might check them out. So we'll give you a little follow-up in the following episode. Thankfully, we have at least 5 people here watching us, so that's pretty good.
What's up, folks?
P.O. Box Christmas is here. He's joining us. I don't think he was here last time. He said all of his comments are going to be copy-paste from the script of Star Fox. That is the way. Mike's wondering if Carl's wearing shoes, but of course, Mr. 804 is letting us know.
No, I'm never wearing. I never wear shoes in the house. It's like they're always so heavy for me. So when I get in the house, immediately take my shoes off.
All right, so I think we're gonna go ahead and dive in to the first game. You want to set this up for us, Carl? It's Solar Ash.
Okay, so all right, so let me explain for those who are new here to this podcast. So each of us finds 3 indie games. They can be kind of old and kind of forgotten or never known or new and upcoming or already out. or just released. So one of the games I picked was called Solar Ash, and it's made by the people who did Hyperlight Drifter, as far as I could tell, at least. I saw the trailer. It looks okay. I couldn't really tell what it's about, but thought it'd be worth talking about.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna play the trailer, and let's take a look at what Carl picked for us.
I may have heard of this. Sounds familiar.
It's coming in October too, folks.
Ooh, only for PS4?
I don't know. Uh-oh.
All right, this is one of those weird looking fighting games.
Yeah, I picked some weird ones. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so this kind of looks like what was it, El Shaddai or whatever?
El Shaddai.
El Shaddai, yeah. There's a couple other games, kind of like Rhyme or.
It kind of looks interesting.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty. I like the graphical style. Ooh, that's cool. Some nice looking monsters.
Style.
I like that they're not using 3D or just pixel art. That all these indie developers we've been looking at, a lot of them are just using unique art styles.
Oh yeah, it looks really good. I like it. It almost kind of reminds me of like a painting come to life.
I might not play these games, but I pick them because I think they're worth looking at.
Yeah, this is from the creators of Hyperlight Drifter.
Looks different from the Hyperlight Drifter, though. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, that was a top-down kind of retro style look.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. Any of you ever see the animated film The Snowman?
No.
I can't say that I have.
So maybe I'll link it to you around the holiday season. It's got that kind of art style, though, I think.
Yeah, it looks really good. It reminds me of, like you said, El Shaddai, and then Rhyme. I know a lot of people are kind of familiar with Rhyme. It looks a little bit more fast-paced, but it looks really good. Good choice there, Carl.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Definitely an interesting game to start us out with. It did look good. Not too clear as to what kind of game it is. It might be a platformer.
P.O. Box Christmas says, I'm looking forward to that one.
Well, that's good. That's what we're aiming for here. To spread
spread some awareness.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, and the next game, this was one of Gary's choices. Now I'm a little mad because one of Gary's choices is probably going to blow everybody away. It's not a game that people are going to talk about, so I'm going to save that one for the end. Right now, we're going to take a look at Unsighted. You want to set us up for this, Gary? What's it about?
Both of them were kind of. I know this is going to be a retro pixel art, I think, game. I think for the first two I picked were. I seen it really quick, and of course, I didn't come prepared to give my thoughts on it this week.
I didn't mind Sunday, but I didn't mind the Monday night or Tuesday last week.
I think this might be the Metroidvania one. I'm not too sure. So it's either this one or the other one, but this one's good. Go ahead and play it.
No, I only guess it's the Metroidvania one, but what do I know?
God, that already looks good. The cutscene, the little dialogue there, I love how it's stylized. Oh no, this is
This looks like a looter shooter type of.
Yeah, like this might be like a twin stick shooter type game.
Like a dungeon crawler almost. It definitely looks unique. It has a nice little style to it. Kind of reminds me of Enter the Gungeon.
Yeah, so it might be a roguelike. I'm not sure. I'd have to look a little bit more into it though, but it caught my eye. It definitely has some nice animation there.
Yeah, we'll definitely be more prepared next time. Still a work in progress, folks.
Yep. I mean, it does look kind of cool though.
Sure, Carl would say that as soon as the naked lady shows up on the screen.
I actually just missed the naked lady, okay?
So it said fall 2021, correct?
That is correct. I believe it just came out like a couple days
Yeah, it might
ago,
be
maybe.
available for Steam, and then it'll hit everything else a little later on.
The very moment before Gary looked at it.
So hey, if you guys are all over Steam and you're anticipating the Steam Deck, then a lot of these games that we're going to cover here are probably going to be games that are usually out already, but are going to hit consoles. Because usually I'm going to generally suggest games for the Switch because that's what I have. I don't have a PS4 or an Xbox, but that doesn't mean that I won't, find games that will suit guys with the PS4 or the Xbox. So.
Yeah, folks, and some of this stuff is definitely on Steam. So, all of it probably. So, if you have a Steam Deck pre-ordered, when the games get cheap. So,
all right, I think
keep watching some of the stuff.
I got the most unique game. This is a deck builder garage band simulator type game.
Oh boy!
Multiplayer, rock and roll deck builder. It's not out yet. It is coming to early access. I believe there's a demo out for the game.
And if it were a porn game, it would be a dick builder.
I think I've seen the trailer for this, Tony. I think I know what you're talking about.
Peelbox Christmas says the video is lagging hard for me. It's lagging for us too.
Yeah, it is for me too. It's all Gary's fault.
Son of a bitch.
I think it's my fault. I was having internet issues like 10 minutes before we got on.
Yeah, but Gary's married, so everything is his fault automatically.
Yeah, it's my fault. I'll take the blame. That's okay.
No, in all seriousness, we're all having the same problem, so. I'll tell you what the real problem is. It's YouTube, that rat bastard.
Yeah, this is Battle Bands. There's the official trailer.
Okay. It's Vanilla Urkel's fault. Actually, that's kind of look cool, though. Please tell me that's on Switch or the Xbox.
Right now, it's just on Steam.
Oh well. That on there, I know my dad would get a kick out of it.
I like that guy with the TV head.
Well, these are looking like some really good games.
I wonder if this is going to be fast paced, where you're not going to have much time to think about your strategy.
Tommy Tallarica really needs us to watch this podcast. He gets some great ideas for the Amico.
What's that, Tony?
I said it doesn't look like it's going to be too fast paced. I think you're going to have some time to decide which you want to play.
A little bit of customization options here. Looks good though. I always like deck builder games. Usually are surprising. You get into them, and they're, for the most part, they're all really fun.
And it's multiplayer.
See, folks, some couch co-op, maybe.
Wishlist now on Steam.
All right,
Looks
so
good.
I think. All right, who's next?
You're next, Carl.
All right.
And I believe what we got on tap for Carl is a game called A Little to the Left.
Okay, all right. Now, this is an OCD indie game, basically, from what I read. So, for all you people who are hyper obsessed with collecting trophies, this might be for you.
All right. The description says it's from Next Indie. It says A Little to the Left is a cozy puzzle game that has you sort, stack, and organize household items. Its precise arrangements while you keep an eye out for a mischievous cat with an inclination for chaos.
See?
Yeah, this sounds like an OCD nightmare. I'm gonna have to be honest. Yeah, Dan, I am embracing the inner Kermit. I've gone full frog. It's not easy being green, but let's full screen this bad boy.
This should be fun. Oh, wow. Chill music.
Nice and simple.
Yeah.
It
Are
does
any of
seem
your
simple.
kids OCD, Gary?
What's that?
Are any of your kids OCD?
Not really. I don't think they're OCD as much as I am. I definitely am OCD.
Well, this is perfect for you
but
then.
But not an OCD in the sense that I think I'm more like ADD. But I don't do OCD. I don't do OCD things where like I wash my hands 10 times. I just have to be like have things like I said, I'm a perfectionist and I have to have things in place or it drives me nuts.
You know what I get OCD about? I'll tell you what makes me hyper OCD, the door. It has to be closed for me. Or why that bugs me. I'm one of those people.
Thank you, Max.
I'm like, the door's open, I gotta close it. Yeah. So that looks kind of interesting, kind of simple, thankfully short.
It kind of reminds me of like a Professor Layton game, which is not really my, I don't prefer puzzle games, but every once in a while I do like to come to a puzzle game that's, something different, play something different for once, So that's pretty cool.
All right. What was the next game that we had on tap? What was it?
Death's Gambit.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The scariest turn.
Now this one, I think this was like the Metroidvania game. I could be wrong. I could have been thinking about other games that I seen, but these were the ones that
I'm sure it'll be good. But I've heard of Death's Gambit.
I think this was my favorite of the three that I picked today.
I have heard of it. I don't know if it's from you, Gary, but I have heard of it though.
Oh God, I got a commercial. Hold on, folks. I think I played the original. It sounds familiar.
And Ray is in the house.
Well, what's up,
Ray, you missed some good ones. All right, so yeah, nothing's going on in the comments section at the moment.
We train, we fight to push our limits. But what are yours? We have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. This looks Yeah, this looks more like the Metroidvania. And I don't know if that is it, but it appears that way, at least to me.
Oh,
it looks
shit,
really
my fault.
cool.
I had the playback speed at 2x speed.
The bosses
Fucking
look definitely like big and interesting.
And as you can tell by the watermark, we are watching the IGN video.
We fight to push our limits. But what are yours? You have nothing.
You got to push
It
it,
looks like
push it to your
It
limit,
has a very
limit.
Castlevania vibe.
I'm a big fan of like these games with like giant bosses and incredible animations and particle effects. And that looks like it's got all, all the above.
I'll fall asleep, Carl.
Kind of
Is the
looks
trailer that
interesting.
boring?
No, I'm okay. Don't worry about it. The game does look interesting.
To do what is necessary.
Fate is not so easily broken.
That's gonna make me want to play the original.
I think I'm hitting the horror theme though this month, boys. Did you guys hit the horror themes?
Oh, not at all. Not yet.
No.
You might doesn't deserve to
I
fade
think a
just
good
yet.
horror, a game that has some good horror sequences is Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Ooh, I love that score too. The score sounds amazing. Serenity Forge. Haven't heard of those guys, and I haven't played the original, if there is an original, like Tony says. But that definitely caught my eye when I looked it up. Or
Hey, and
I came
Show
across it
joined
last
us.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
I think Death's Gambit Afterlife is like a expanded version, like almost a director's cut, if you will.
Yeah, kind of like a 2.5 or like a 1.5, like a kind of just like an updated, added little DLC into the game, and then just an expanded game. So that's hey, if you'd ever heard of it, I might have heard of the name, but I didn't. I wasn't following Death's Gambit, so that looks pretty good to me.
All right, now I got something because you know I love my Castlevania style games, so you know I'm gonna have one of them here. Go ahead and share this screen. Aeon Drive. Fuck if I know how to pronounce this shit.
How's it spelled?
Aeon.
Aeon.
Yep. Remember Aeon Flux?
Or
I
the
do.
Aeons
I thought
from
about-
Final... Or the summons from Final Fantasy X.
That's when MTV was at their pinnacle.
Now, obviously, this is not the gameplay. This is just the animated trailer. But I mean, it's a redhead chick, so already it's got points in my book. I don't think this is gonna bring your family together, Tommy or Nico. Sorry. But yeah, it definitely has that Castlevania / Mega Man Metroidvania shit going on.
A lot of traps and hazards too. Kind of remind you. Always got like that Meat Boy feel where you gotta avoid obstacles.
And as
Yeah,
you see,
this
it's
looks really good.
multiplayer.
So, for all you Castlevania whores out there, there you go. All
Show
right.
says he's going to beat as many Castlevania games as he can this month. Also, Splatterhouse and Bloodstain. I never got into
Oh
Splatterhouse.
yes.
Well, there
Oh,
you go,
Splatterhouse
Show.
is
There's one
fantastic.
more.
They need a new Splatterhouse like the old red, like 1, 2, and 3. They need to redo it because when they brought Splatterhouse back out and they redid it in that 3D, I didn't care for it. But I own all the originals. Absolutely fantastic games. I wish they would redo one in pixel art.
All right, so I guess it's my turn
Yeah.
next.
This is
Let's
the
look at-
wild card game. So you want to set us up for this one, Carl?
All right, so I saw this one on the Angry Joe show, Misadventures of OJ and Alex, and basically it's kind of like a, well, it's what it says it is. It's a bum simulator. You make a bum, and it's kind of like an RPG. It has RPG elements and lots of other stuff. So
Was it
It
made by
looks-
the people who made Goat Simulator?
I honestly, I don't know.
It's
I
made
did,
by Ragged Games, published by Playway. So this is a bum simulator. It's like being a bum. Imagine Skyrim, but instead of being a hero, you're just a bum on the streets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds amazing.
That's how I feel sometimes.
Is this just a cutscene or is this going to be actual gameplay? 'Cause that was pretty solid. Yes.
That looks pretty good.
Oh my God.
Dude.
Whoever made this.
Dude, that's literally how I feel some mornings. So yeah, I told you, it looks pretty good.
It looks really good. Why do the graphics look so good?
Because the game is that good looking. I'm not bullshitting you. This game looks amazing when
Wow, you can make your house too.
Yeah, you can make your own sign and house. It literally is some Skyrim Bum Edition.
That looks pretty good.
That looked amazing.
Yeah, see?
Another great choice by Carl.
Tommy
Thanks.
Rico says, I can pretend to be a bum for free.
Forward to the Evil Dead. The Evil Dead game, I don't know. I mean, we can talk about it
I haven't
one
heard
Monday.
nothing about it.
There's a new one in the works? I played the old one. The Fistful of Boomstick was pretty good. I didn't know there was a new one announced.
Tommy Rumiko says, I'm going to try to do the newest Blair Witch game this month. I'm a super fan of the movies.
Ew.
Is that the one that's available in VR?
I believe so.
I heard mixed reviews about that. I was kind of looking into that for the VR, but needless to say, I'm a chicken shit when it comes to like having to deal with stuff in VR, and I am gonna have to tackle RE4, Resident Evil 4 is coming to VR. I'm kind of excited about that next month.
Now, this game, I'm going to skip Gary's pick because we're going to put that one last because I just know that that's going to be the favorite.
Okay, yeah.
All right, but the game I'm going to show you guys is called Okinawa Rush. I heard about it. Ye Old Nerdcast, they were talking about it. It is a side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's not out yet, but it's supposed to come out later this year. It is it's kickstarted.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go ahead and take a look at that.
I always
And
like my beat 'em ups.
we're running on good time too. That's weird. Okay, music is good.
It's got like a Neo Geo feel to it.
Yeah, it's got like a Double Dragon feel almost to it.
It's got 2-player mode, so you got co-op again. Yeah.
3 playable characters. All right. I like that. That looks really solid. Switch, Xbox, PS4. All right.
Cool.
Looks good to me. I love the soundtrack. I did reach out to the developers, so hopefully they hit me back and we get a review copy and we could show some of that off. Because, I love free shit.
You need to hit the Microsoft up for free Xbox so I can buy you games too.
Oh, shit. Microsoft ain't going to give me nothing free. They don't like me at Microsoft for some reason. Now, this next one is definitely a unique game. You want to set us up for this, Gary? This is yours.
All right. All aboard, bitches. Choo Choo Charles is in the house. And from what I was told, I don't know which one of you guys said this was part of another game. And I heard some comments talking about something similar to that. So I'm not sure if this was part of something else.
The train. I wanted to talk to you about that. Like the train thing you're talking about from Skyrim. It's not what you think. It's more of like a transportation mod. So
no. Well, yeah. The train. The game is called Choo Choo Charles, and it's about an evil train that kills people.
Ooh.
The train resembles Thomas the Tank Engine. There was a Thomas the Tank Engine mod for Skyrim where he replaces the dragons. And then eventually people made a scary version of Thomas the Tank Engine. And Choo Choo Charles definitely looks very similar. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll know it when you see it.
And so this is a first-person shooter, and it might maybe some roguelike elements into it, and trying to deviate away from like the 2D pixel art style here. I thought this was a perfect game to go into, especially with the holiday season, with Halloween right around the corner. So this looks pretty good.
Tommy Miko says, "Why are you stalking the devs?" Of course, I have.
He's trying to get free games.
Can't help myself.
I don't know what I'm going to get me and Gary next month, but I'll think of something. It's going to be dirt cheap, though. I'll tell you that much. $15 is literally my limit for gifts.
Look at that. He's like, it's a train, but it's like crawling along on like spider legs.
And you gotta figure out the location you're gonna go. You gotta map it out. It looks like there's RPG elements.
Oh man, it sounds like it requires too much thinking for my part, but it looks cool.
I mean, the graphics look somewhat simple, but I like the lighting effects that are going on here. I mean, it does still look sophisticated.
They don't have to be complicated.
So well, again, it has a Skyrim look to it that it's probably using the same engine.
I love the sounds and the music.
How you're upgrading your little what do they call the first? Yeah. Well, what's the front?
I can finally make. I can finally I can finally make this joke and it'll make sense. Old people are worth 50 points of experience.
So he definitely looks awesome though. I love
Yeah,
the
let me
way he
transform
looks.
myself.
That's awesome.
All of them look pretty badass.
Let's see if I can slow this down here.
I would play this train bullshit.
Damn, missed it again. Motherfucker. Let's go with 25% speed.
So I don't know if you're just shooting at him or if there's going to be other enemies or whatnot, but it looks terrifying. It looks really good.
From my understanding, reading the comments on the trailer, I think it's just him. He's the only enemy in the game. You have to figure out how to beat Choo Choo Charles.
You know, I might have to do some for some horror games coming this month for my next. So
I was gonna say that actually reminds me. I don't know if you guys played. Did you guys ever play the Friday the 13th game, where you basically along the same lines where you had to get like the gas, you had to make sure that you got the keys for the car, you had to keep Jason distracted long enough, and then make your escape. So that's what it feels like. And if that's the case, I'm in, man. That's solid, and that looks like it would be a blast if maybe it was multiplayer and someone could man the gun and. That would be really cool.
Tommy Yamiko says it's every Stephen King movie combined. Now that's not true. There's nothing from Needful Things in it.
Chappie McChapster says, yeah, there was an entire Dark Tower book on a creepy-ass train. Yeah, and I think the train is actually called Choo Choo Charlie in that.
Some pretty good.
Which is probably why they went with Charles.
Probably.
Yeah, some pretty good horror themed picks from Gary. I'll have to pick some for next month or for next week myself.
I think I fell into that one yesterday. It popped up on my YouTube roll, and it looked great. So it had to be a part of today's show.
All right, so I think we got like 30 minutes or so, whatever left. I mean,
we could do a couple things of maybe things that we've been playing or you have played that maybe nobody's heard about.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so I've been trying to play more of Axiom Verge 2, and I tell you, it's soft locked to me.
What'd you do, Carl?
Okay, so I'm just trying to you know how Metroidvania games are. You're trying to find out how to open the next door. And that's what I was trying to do. And I ended up in this deep pit and I got stuck like a duck in a ruck.
Yeah.
You know, and that just, you know, so I uninstalled that. I did, however, start playing Axiom Verge 1 and having a blast with it. Cleared the first boss today.
Nice.
I'm
gonna have to get in on the Axiom Verge. I know a lot of people rave about it. So, and I've seen a lot of trailers and gameplay. So I'm gonna have to definitely.
Axiom 1, like the first few every boss I've ever encountered has not been hard. I mean, you know, they're challenging, just not stupidly hard. But yeah, like I said, I hate the music for the second one. I noticed something funny the other day, when I was playing around with the accessibility settings. Like, you can apparently turn the background off for the second one, which I thought was really weird. Yeah, I'm not joking. It turns it off, and it makes everything brightens everything else up. So, and that's easier to see. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Wait till it's on sale. get the first one though, which I think is still on sale now on the Switch, $8, maybe on other platforms.
And
Also
the holiday season is coming up, so it probably will go on sale here shortly.
Also played the Big Con. I hadn't saw that just because I'm not into adventure games, but Gary will probably love it though.
So I wanted to kind of talk about a game that I've probably mentioned a few times on here, and I don't know if you're familiar with Blasphemous, Tony. Have you ever seen Blasphemous?
I've heard of it.
Yeah,
vaguely.
Yeah. I actually own it.
Yeah. That anybody who hasn't picked that game up, the visuals are top notch. Modern retro. Just the animations, the blood. If you're into that kind of gory-ish, type game, that's a fantastic Metroidvania-ish type game to go into. I can't say enough good things about Blasphemous. Blasphemous is definitely.
Oh, hey, if you are looking for good kind of a horror themed Metroidvania, I do have one suggestion for you, but it can get hairy. It's called Sundered.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one yet.
Yeah, it's got some pretty Ralph Bakshian style graphics. Like, watch the Lord of the Rings from Ralph Bakshi. It's kind of like that style. And basically, like, it's a the rooms are semi-randomly generated. Basically, the paths. But all the key rooms are not, though. They're locked into place. Now, what really... And you gain experience or stuff to spend on skills, and it's not like Immortal Redneck where you kind of stoop you you actually do boost up stuff, but and it's got co-op.
Is it just light RPG elements, or is it really heavy?
It's light. Super light, just like the abilities, and so you gain abilities Metroidvania style. What's really awkward about this is I can't figure how to get through it, but it's pretty cool. But there's also one other hitch. It's got horde. It spawns random horde mobs just about every few minutes, so you can die if you're not careful. They're not hard to defeat. It's just they throw so many at you at every interval, just about. I think it's spelled like SUNDERD. $20, somewhere around there.
That's not too bad. I think I might have checked it out. A lot of these names, I checked so many games out that I don't remember the names to all of them.
Yeah,
but that does kind of sound familiar though.
The developer just released a game called Spiritfarer. And that's on the Game Pass for people who have it. I think.
Can't be thinking, Kyle. You gotta know. You gotta.
Well, I can check quick if I need to. But what about you, Gary? Have you played anything worth talking about besides Flynn?
Gary or Tony?
Well, I guess you can talk about Flynn if you want. I mean,
you're talking about
Tony. Tony, yeah, sorry about that. I had a brain slip. Whoops.
No, but I'm eyeballing several games because I hate Koei Temco because they're always fucking releasing new versions of the same fucking game and I have to buy it. So right now I'm actually eyeballing Samurai Warriors 5, $60, but it's got new characters. You got the African American samurai Yasuki's in this one. So I'm probably gonna pick that
Just
up.
call her Black Samurai.
No, it's a dude. It's not a her.
Oh, him. Sorry, I got confused. Black Sam. Just call him a Black Samurai. It's okay. Or Chocolate Samurai.
Now, Carl. I'm looking at that. I've been playing some of that ActRaiser Renaissance. Loving it. Also playing that goddamn Ultimate Alliance 3. I don't know why I waited so long in that game, but I fucking got it. I love it. Love Marvel shit. I play the Avengers game too, even though it's shit, and I still love it.
To Chappie's coming. Yeah, it's the same developer who did Spiritfarer. Like I said, Sundered can get pretty hairy though. So
Tails Adventure is worth playing. It's the only Sonic Metrovania. I didn't even know that thing existed. Never even heard of it. So anything else you guys got? And any other games you want to talk about? Or?
We can ask the viewers if they have any games we're talking about.
Tommy Yumiko says it's on Game Gear. Oh, that's why. Because I don't. I never owned a Game Gear.
Who the hell plays Game Gear?
Ew. Oh, those graphics were. It's literally the color. The screen is literally the colored version of the Game Boy.
Well, here's the thing. I had come across a few Game Boys in my finds, but every time I come across the Game Gear, it's always got the bad capacitors. It's got the bad capacitors that need to be changed out. So, unfortunately, and I think it's around like $35-$40 for to change all those capacitors. So I've never really bothered. It always has this screen issue. I had a few games. I got a really good deal on one like a few years back with like 8 games, and I just decided to sell it because I ended up making about $50-$60 off the lot. But yeah, I've never really sat down and played one. I did back in the day. My brother had one for a short period, but even then I played maybe like a basketball game and Evander Holyfield's boxing, so it wasn't nothing extravagant.
Game Gear is for people who were too bad to get a Game Boy for Christmas by their parents.
Well, Game Gear back in the day, you got to remember, was actually a big thing. I mean, it was an upgrade from a Game Boy. You had color. It's just certain games.
A blurry color screen.
I mean, it's not the best, but especially by today's standards, if you go back and play it, you'll have a hard time playing certain games. But there are a few games. I think there's a Shining Force that's only for the Game Gear. There are a few unique titles to pick up for it, but for the most part, I never really hear anybody talking about Game Gear. It's usually Game Boy or Wonder Swan or Neo Geo Pocket, or along those lines.
And someone here said, and it only took 40 AA batteries every hour.
It was like what, like 4 on each side? It was like a total of 6 or 8.
Yeah, you practically had to get the power pack for the Game Gear. At least the Game Boy wasn't that bad.
Tommy Uyamiko says, can't say enough about Luigi Mansion 3 co-op with the kid. Amazing. Mixes LucasArts point and click with action elements.
I'll agree.
Couch co-op.
Luigi's Mansion 3, even though that's about like a year old now, I probably got 70% through the game. I just haven't gone back to finish it because I play so many games, and like I said, my ADD kind of jumps me from one game to the next. So it's a game I haven't finished, but from what I played on Luigi's Mansion 3, the graphics are absolutely gorgeous in that game. The theming, all the little different areas that you come across on each floor. I think that's probably the best. I would say Luigi's Mansion 3 and Dark Moon on 3DS are way better than the first by far. And I don't know which I like better because I do like the stereoscopic 3D. So that does influence my decision on that. But 3 is fantastic. If anybody hasn't played 3, go out and get that game. That's a must-own for the Switch.
My only way to play the 3DS is the new 3DS XL with the enhanced 3D stereoscopic camera. I can't play original 3DS. That 3D mode just sucks. But when they added that second camera, wow.
Well, I'll touch on that. Here's the problem though with that. I actually own the Pikachu 3DS, the new Pikachu 3DS, and the Galaxy. There are different screens, so I'm wondering if you played a version of the 3DS that has the IPS screens, because right now a lot of people don't know that there's IPS screens and TN screens in the 3DS, which makes that camera function, the tracking, a whole hell of a lot different. If you have the screens that wash out, which are the twisted pneumatic screens, they actually kind of function the way that the older 3DS models did, where when you tilt it to the side, you get this like shimmer. And if you have the IPS screens, the in-plane switching screens, it's more kind of it's basically like having like a plasma TV and like an LCD, and your viewing angles on the side wash out. So when you shift it, you'll see this kind of like this shimmery line come across, and it fucks with your that's why for the most part it gave people like headaches and they didn't like the 3D. I'll
tell you something I've heard about the I know exactly what you're talking about, and what I heard is it's random. You know, there's no certain 3DS which gets the IPS screens.
Well, here's the thing. They put I think from what I understood is they had 2 different factories assembling these, and the Galaxies tend to have the IPS screens more often than not. Now, I had to go through about 6 of them. I went to my local Meijer and I'd buy one. I'd open it. If it didn't have them, I'd fucking return the damn thing until I ended up finding one that had the top and the bottom screens, because it's a world of difference. Like I said, my Pikachu system has the TN screens, and it's when you shift it to the side and you look at it at a certain angle, the entire screen will wash out. All you'll see is white. And when you have the ones with the IPS, it's like a vivid color. Like you don't lose that image at no matter what angle you view it at. And that makes a big difference with the eye tracking, because that eye tracking, it's not perfect. It'll lose your eyes a bit, but when you're moving it, it gives you that bigger sweet spot. So it was definitely an upgrade from the original 3DS. It had a very narrow sweet spot, and then when they did the new 3DSs had so much better of, you could shift it.
Well, what I mean is like the camera, the 3D mode for the new ones is supposed to be factually better than the old version.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. It definitely is. But even if you do get a new one, it's not a guarantee that you're going to have the better screens in it. And that does make, being that I have both of them, and I've played on both of them, having the better IPS screens make a world of difference. And it's something that not everybody knew about. It's like the Switch having a second revision, Not a lot of people understand that if you had a first model, that your battery life is about 2 hours, 3 hours less than the second revision.
Or the 3D or the Game Boy Advance with the best screens.
The AGS 101 versus the 001. Yep. Hands down, there's a difference.
So Tommy Yamiko says the new 3DS has frame. Yeah,
as the tracker. Yep. And it definitely, like I said, it definitely makes a difference over the original 3DS model. But those
we lose? Did we lose Tony?
No, I'm right here. I didn't want to interrupt you guys.
No, go. If you have something that contribute, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't. I had nothing. I don't have a 3DS.
Oh,
I've never played 3DS.
Oh, you guys are missing out. Some of the best. I'm a handheld guy, so I like my handheld gaming, and I think if you haven't really invested into it yet, try to start because the
Okay.
prices are only going up, man. Things for the DS and the 3DS are skyrocketing as we speak. So
I
Here's
can't play
my-
handheld gaming, Gary. In the
No?
words of Carl, my hands are for Jesus only.
Like here's the thing. I would get a Game Boy Advanced for the 3 libraries, and I would get a 3DS for the 2 libraries. For the 3 libraries, the new 3DS, the 3DS, and the DS.
yep,
I actually
Chappie's
have
right.
a Game Boy SP. I got the. So I got
Yep,
one of those.
Chappie's.
The Game Boy
Chappie's-
Advance SP.
Yeah, he's
Huh?
correct. The SPs are expensive now. I actually sold my
They
last
are
one
expensive.
for over $100 for the AGS 00 or
Yeah,
the
they
101
are
or whatever.
expensive. Yeah, it's like, and the
101.
games like, well, I don't know. I mean, like, I got Metroid. I got like,
Well,
an
here's the thing:
authentic.
did you buy the Metroid before? See, Metroid Dread just drove up all of Metroid content in the last few
No,
months.
before. I mean, before I got like Fusion for like $50, but I wouldn't buy it again. I can't. This certain parts of that game drove me nuts.
Oh, I think Fusion's one of the best in the series.
Oh, it's
But-
one of the best looking games, no doubt.
Oh, that too on the GBA, it's fantastic looking. My collection of GBA stuff is pretty extensive, and there's a lot of good games to look out for.
Yeah, I got stuck at the reactor at the beginning. As for the question, the Amico versus the Chinese stuff, I'll tell you straight up right now, I would pick the Chinese emulation stuff over the Amico because they're better built in most cases.
I don't think that's what he meant.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Because supposedly they're going to build some Amicos in the U.S. before they do the larger run in China. But that'll be
they're gonna
discussed more in detail Saturday. This is not.
Oh, are they going to try to pre-fill those? Or are they going to try to fill those pre-orders?
Something like that.
At least founders.
Dan the man says he can't stand the 3DS's analog sticks.
You know what?
man.
I like
the fucking PSP one.
You see, the PSP one I think is worse off than the 3DS. The 3DS stick I absolutely love. I don't know how people broke their sticks. I've had my 3DS. Each one that I had, I never had an issue. I played a lot of Smash on my 3DS with Mega Man. Mega Man was my main.
I'll tell you right now,
mine had held up pretty good.
I'll tell you a story. Something that I've come to realize, Gary, is that when I went to buy a DS Lite, I found out that the best people who took care. Guess which people took the best care of their handheld devices?
Old people.
Girls.
Yeah, if you actually go and buy, like pink, like the rose, metallic rose, those are actually the ones
You're going to get the best.
They're clean, yes.
And the one
they
I
always
had,
kept them in cases and everything.
Thankfully, I found a black one that was owned by a girl. I can only imagine, at least. And it was like new, even the very day I traded it in because I couldn't really play it anymore.
No, I'll attest to that, Carl. The last few DSi XLs that I bought were from, I think, girls in their 20s. They were just getting rid of stuff that they had when they were a little bit younger. And each one that I bought was in a case with screen protectors, albeit it had a couple girly games here and there. They had a few decent games.
That's why you just trade those in if you're not interested in them.
Oh, yeah, that's usually what I do. I'll put whatever I don't have in my collection. The red DS that I just got, which was a couple months back, was in like it was brand new, and I paid, I think, $40 for that and about 7 games in a case. Absolutely great condition. So yeah, I'll attest that women definitely seem to keep their their consoles in better condition. But
Yeah.
I think guys do the. Yeah, I think guys take they put more hours into their
the thing is,
consoles.
the phrase
And boys will be boys.
Rode up hard, put up wet pretty much describes a boy's owned console. especially when that little boy had Mario Kart. Goodbye shoulder buttons.
Yeah. Hey, look, Cam is joining this. Cam, you just came in time for us to
hey. Yeah. I mean, we can make time if he wants. Not a big deal.
No. It's been an hour. We're trying to keep this one under.
Oh yeah, it has.
Hours.
Wow, the time really does fly.
Yeah. The Saturday show usually goes like 5 hours. Somehow I don't know how. So we're gonna try to keep this one to be like an hour.
Yeah. It's we ran out of. Yeah, it's Yeah, I agree.
We'll definitely need to come with our gay game. Probably, maybe do 4 apiece, and then maybe talk about them a little bit more than we did, and not fly through them as quick. But hopefully next week we'll have it buckled down.
I like the way we did it this time because we can just talk about gaming stuff in general in the last half.
No, I think we're gonna come a little bit more prepared, a little more knowledgeable on what we're talking about. Yeah, the 5 hour Saturday stream is fun, but I can't do that every day. When the 5 hour stream ends, I get up and take the biggest fucking piss ever. It's like League of Their Own, Tom Hanks.
Just going and going.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut this short. We're gonna go ahead and end this.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you guys saw some games you might be interested in. Hopefully, we didn't bore you too much.
Canadian Gamer, Cam, I would just suggest rewatching the episode if you're interested in some titles. So I don't know which ones would be for the Xbox. So
I suggest everybody rewatch the episode like 6 or 7 times just to get the full experience. Make sure you sub, you hit the like button, hit the bell, share it with all your friends. Beat people up, take their computers, watch it on their computers so we get more views. Whatever you gotta do.
Don't get me and Gary in court. I mean,
For the record, Carl is the leader of the organization. All criminal activities stop with him. He's the head honcho.
I don't look too stupid to be the leader. Give me a break.
I'm just a lackey.
That's just his gimmick. You guys think Carl is he's too stupid, like he says, but he's not. Like once the show ends, he yells at us. He fucking threatens to smack us around. It's like night and day. He's like fucking like one of them Dick Tracy villains.
I mean, guys.
I don't know about smacking, but have you bred by horses? Yeah.
Carl says he's hung like a horse, and with that, we will end the show.
No, I said whatever.
Love, peace, booty grease.
See you later.